Free Alabama movement, continue with our video series inside St. Clair Correctional Facility. Today we'll be continuing with our interview series of men inside the Department of Corrections who have done extended periods of time inside of the system. And they'll be able to give you real life stories about the lack of opportunity for rehabilitation and education inside the Department of Corrections, how the department continues to make men serve extended periods of time with no opportunity whatsoever to overcome whatever issues they have that cause them to be incarcerated inside a prison. We'll be profiling men today who I know personally from around the compound, leaders, mentors, educators, guys who participate in programs, taking the initiative to help others educate other young men in the system. And we want you to share their stories because we continue to ask the question, what is it going to take and why is it that these men can't earn their freedom? They've been locked up for capital murder. Two of them had capital murder. Two of them had life without, one of them had a life sentence. But no one can say when we'll be going home again or why. The system is not constructed so that it allows people to do informed time. And I mean by that is we don't know when we're going home. We're able to be rehabilitated, we're rehabilitating ourselves, but we continue to be deprived of opportunity. So today here we go. These are the men will be profiling this tape from Decatur, Alabama, Crusher, and we got Rain Man on the scene. We're going to start with you, Rain Man. Just tell me your name, what you locked up for, and how much time you have.
Okay, my real name is Rain Simmons, and I come out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
I found out a long time ago why they call it the Magic City. Because most black men that come out of the Magic City disappear. Disappear where? To the Department of Correction. Here, I'm serving a life without sentence for a robbery. Popcorn robbery, I call it, because, first of all, there's no injury, there's no violence, there's nothing to it but sticking up, giving you money, and the man gave me his money.
You got life without?
And I'm doing life without for it. I've been locked up now about 18 years.
18 years.
And they said habitual felon act, but there's no habitual felon. I met guys that got 13 felony records, felony robberies, and I only have 3.
And they still won't let you go.
And they not, most of them are just not even the first degree, they second degree and third degree. Right. One first degree.
Well, let me ask you something, Ray. I don't mean to cut you off. When you get a life without sentence, what they're saying is that you are no longer able to be rehabilitated, nothing else can be done for you, that you are a threat and a menace to society, and that they need to lock you up forever. But you've done this, you've been doing time for 18 years now. In those 18 years, I want you to give some background on some of the things you've done, because I know that you are an asset to the system. I know that you've been taught a lot of class stuff. Just tell them a little bit about what you've done since you've been in the prison system.
Okay, since I've been in the prison system, I had a graduate from Gaston State Community College.
Okay.
I teach anger management, stress management, criminal thinking, reality therapy, alpha healing. I've taught all those classes.
That's correct.
And a couple more that they have time to name. But but the system do not have any type of reform or rehabilitation.
Right.
Because simple fact, they do not want you to be rehabilitated. They want you to be an asset to them. They need money.
They need
your
body.
Human bodies to be financed for the state.
That's correct.
They do not want to take any federal grants, but I know about it. The feds are trying to get in because they're afraid the federal government will take over. So they do not want to receive any federal grant or federal money from the federal. So they want to just try to leading you on to make you a slave, really, slave labor to what they got going on for if their industry, for if they're working on road squads, for if they're working in the kitchen, for if they maintenance crew, for if the yards cleanup crew, all the type of runner jobs they do. They do not want you to get none of that stuff there, period. So for me, myself, I advise everybody who's trying to get a rehabilitation center, rehabilitate themselves inside the institution, and to study and examine themselves and try to rebuild themselves up. Stay away from the food. There's more killing and more assault in St. Clair Correctional Facility and in the other prison system. If people don't believe, go online to Alabama DOC, and they can look it up anytime, and they'll see the results of Alabama prison.
So, Rain Man, let me ask you this. I mean, they gave you life without, and you're not able to go to school.
No.
Because of your sentence.
Exactly.
You don't go and see classification because of your sentence.
Exactly.
You don't get no reviews because of your sentence.
Exactly.
But you you work in the psychology department.
Yes.
And you teach all the classes around here, basically. You teach all the classes. So it's obvious that you do have something, and these skills can be used in the community. So when you know that you have this sentence and when you're deprived of opportunity, can you talk about how that breeds hopelessness in the prison as a whole and why we see so much violence because of the mindset that's created by the Department of Correction?
Most important of all, the mindset of the prisoner, because it sets an example so that you cannot debilitate yourself, cannot help yourself, so you stay in a child frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys in here, they got locked up when they was 14, 15, 16, and now they're 30 and 40 years of age,
mm-hmm.
and they still had a mind frame of that because they had no opportunity, chance of growing and rehabilitating themselves at stages as a man should go.
The infrastructure is not here to
no
foster
such
that.
thing is no infrastructure. No other Department of Correction in Alabama. It's not designed for that. It's only designed to warehouse men, to hold you, and to keep you, and to use for their gain.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is, I don't know how much you know about the Free Alabama movement. I don't know if we sit down and talk. I think I'd have mentioned to you, I know we wrote a book, but what we're doing is we are protesting the living conditions, the overcrowdedness, the unsanitariness, the food, the health care, the jacked up prices and stuff like that. We also established economic policies of empowerment for prisoners because we want guys to understand that, we in a bad system, but we play an important role in keeping the system going. When we do the free labor, when we work in the kitchen, we work industry, we work the yard crew, these things have to be done, and they can't be done without us.
Right.
And we're not at the table bargaining for bargaining power through our labor, through our free labor. I did an economic study on the kitchen, and we putting in $1 million in labor a year just inside of the kitchen at minimum wage. And when you take that labor out of the kitchen, they don't have the money to pay $1 million because it's going to cost more than, they're not going to get a cook to work in the kitchen for minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? So when you start adding in actual cost of the free market, there's no telling what you're probably getting on $1.52 million. But that's what we want guys to use and understand our economic power, and we want to use it for sentencing reform and parole reform because men like you who have came into the system, self-rehabilitate yourself, and yet you still don't have an opportunity to go home.
Right, exactly.
All right. So we're going to come back to you in just a second. We can come over here to Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hamilton, LeVar is his son, Hamilton.
LeVar.
That's Kate, Alabama.
Okay, how much time do you have now, sir?
Well, to be honest, I got like 3 consecutive like that.
3 so that's almost, you basically know what that means.
Yeah.
So how much time have you done on those?
January will be 14 years.
14 years. So you have a parole date coming up?
Yeah, 2015.
How many victims were involved in your case?
Like 2.
2 people were killed?
No. One was killed and one was like attempted murder.
Okay, so 1 person was killed. You've already done 14 years. You got 3 life sentences. And this all came out of 1 incident, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have a parole date?
Yes, sir, 2015.
And being in prison, you know how the prison works, you know how the system works. Tell us realistically what you think about that parole date.
But to be honest, I don't actually think I'm going to make it because of the person that they say I am. You know what I'm saying? But throughout, like, the 13 years that I have did, I ain't got, like, all the programs that I needed. You know what I'm saying? Got the certificates in my box.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Took trade school. But, to be honest with you, I'm really looking for a lawyer.
Okay.
That's what I really need.
So you've got everything basically the state has to offer as far as rehabilitation, you got it.
Yeah,
and you still feel that, the parole is not going to be a guarantee.
No, I don't think it's guaranteed.
Okay, well, one of the things we're addressing in the Free Alabama movement is we want to reform parole so that when you get sent, when you go to sentencing, they do a PSI report on you. All right, the judge knows all about your social background when you in front of him. And then after you get sentenced and you are sent down to Cuba, they do a psychological evaluation. So all the information on what your deficiencies are socially and your deficiencies psychologically are right there in your file. And what we're saying is when they take into consideration the sentence, that they should be able to set out a curriculum for you. And when you complete this system and you show that you've earned the right to be paroled, that you should be paroled. You shouldn't have to sit in and wonder when parole going to come or if you're going to get it. And that'll be more incentive for you to modify your behavior, modify the things that were lacking before you came to prison. And that way you will be a viable candidate and you can say, I can make parole and this is what I have to offer when I get back out there. So that's what we're trying to do. And can you give me some insight on that? Just tell us how the system currently works as far as parole and how they set people off, and don't even tell you what they're setting you off for.
I'm saying when I first came down, I came down in 2001.
Okay.
They gave me a 15-year sit-up. 15 years when I first came down.
Okay.
And I'm saying they was telling me to take the life sentence because, not that I might make it, but because I have some hope.
Okay.
So the whole time that I've been doing time, I'm just hoping that I might. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no guarantee, but like since I've been at St. Clair, I ain't never been in no system like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm just here.
Yeah, and they don't care about nothing.
No, I don't care about nothing. I go to Calvin Sanders. He tells me I have like a year clear record just to dump the trash. So I ain't had no
So
job.
you can't even get a job.
No, I can't get no job.
But a job is something that you need as far as showing rehabilitation for when you get back out there.
Yeah, that's what I need.
But you can't get a
No,
job.
I can't get no job.
Well, can you speak to the living condition? Because I've been inside y'all block. I done seen the largest spider web that I may have ever saw in my life. It started from the fire alarm and go all the way around the tier. And, you know, I've been inside the shower. I saw the mold and mildew. You and I, we went through the mop closet. Just tell us what it's like being dumped inside of a hellhole like this with bodies stacked on top of each other.
And really, it's a hellhole, to be honest with you. I'm saying, and then the majority, like 85% of people that's in the block, they don't bathe. You know what I'm saying?
And that's imposed on you whether you like it or not.
I like it or not.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
I'm saying, like, they catch stabbed, you know what I'm saying? All that. So, I'm saying, when I go to the shower, I have to take the bleach, the spray bar, and spray it down.
Just to take a shower.
Just to take a shower. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to buy the bleach. I want to make sure they know that because they don't even give it.
Every time you get, you got to buy it.
On the black market.
On the black market, ain't nothing for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then it's just rough.
Yeah, and there's no sense. I mean, you can't connect none of this to rehabilitation.
No.
There's nothing about this that you can say this is gonna help me. You know, it's an old system. It's outdated. It's outmoded, and it's based on the system of slavery.
Really slavery.
But they don't have it. Yeah, but they don't have a way to rehabilitate us or provide us with anything. So when we go home, our family's gonna be saying, "Well, I'm glad he got those problems fixed."
None of that. Yeah, none of that.
All right, we're gonna get over here to Mr. Buford. Please say your name for us, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Octavius Buford. I'm originally from Decatur, Alabama.
Okay.
But I've been currently residing at St. Clair for some years.
All right.
And from what I see, this is a very crazy system. In the whole Alabama system, I've been to all the maximum security prisons in Alabama. I have 2 life without parole sentences consecutive and 1 life sentence consecutive. I had 2 life sentences vacated off my sentence from appeal court.
So they overcharged you, overconvicted you already.
Convicted me, overcharged me. Circumstantial evidence case, no evidence at all.
As usual.
As usual, the norm that you see around here amongst these other guys that are inside these facilities. Very unsanitary place. Because of my life without parole sentence, I can't get a job. They won't give me no job. They always talk about my sentence, and it's a double standard for any man, you know, with these type of sentences. Not looking at none of the things that I have done. I've got classes. I took fatherhood initiative classes. I've tutored. I've done everything. You know, there's no more a man can do when you're inside these walls.
Yeah.
You know, they don't give you any kind of hope, any kind of reason for hope. So the place is nasty. It's very unsanitary. A lot of racism going on around here amongst the officers, racial profiling. And
they stay in these blocks where the majority black. Majority black, but J&K where it's majority white. They go over there and lay back and keep their feet up. All one majority white, they keep their feet up. You know what I'm saying?
It's very nasty. There's no way, the cleaning supplies are watered down. So, you know, it's really not killing any kind of germs.
Harassed on the daily.
Yeah.
You know, you're being harassed on the daily, even all out your sleep. They're waking you up. It's just a constant flow of stress, pressure, you know, without no kind of stability as far as making money to, you know, get the things you need. You know, it's inadequate care at all. You know, health care is not proper. They want to overcharge you for that, and the taxpayers are paying dollars, you know, for health care. So why should we extra pay when there's no money to regenerate back because we're not making it?
And that's what
coming from our families.
That's for one of the things we profiled in our book, what you just said. You don't have an armband on.
Right.
Neither one of y'all got an armband on. So that's $9 right there that they're looking at. But it's $12 actually. But where we gonna get this money from? We don't work. They won't give you a job. They won't give you a job. And the job you work, you ain't got paid for now one of them. So they know they finna exploit our families for this money. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about the health care, they know they finna exploit our family, but like you said, they already taxpayers. They already paying the contract for the health care providers. You know what I'm saying? So now they charging them a premium on their insurance. They charge them everything, but don't give you no money for nothing.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's a sad situation when you're a man that's grasping for some kind of hope. You know, everybody has a change in their life. We all have made mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
True.
You know, we're not, angels or nothing like that, but I'm not professing to be a saint, but I know I'm a man, and I know that I deserve a chance, and I think that all men deserve a chance if you're showing.
Yeah, if you're showing improvement.
You know what I'm saying?
So one of the things we asking for in Free Alabama Movement is a shutdown on all the labor inside of the institutions because, like I said, we have to use our power to negotiate with these people at the table. We want sentencing reform. We want to abolish life without parole because it doesn't serve a purpose.
Right.
You know, if you give a guy life without parole and you're not going to evaluate him for 10, 20, 30 years, then how do you know what his potential is? How do you know he can't be rehabilitated? You know what I'm saying? And so we saying we want guys to be evaluated and we want opportunities put inside the system for education, for rehabilitation, to see if you're capable of going back out there. But as it stands right now, they're not even going to give you that opportunity.
They're not giving you opportunities at all. I mean, they don't even want you to have exercise time. They just lock you in a block, and they just put you in a warehouse, and they just leave you there. Nothing to do. I mean, what can young black men do who has all this energy, he has all his mind, and can't put it to use? He's just sitting here. Everybody just looking at each other. Place is nasty. You don't have nothing sanitized, no fun. I mean, there's nothing.
Right up every day.
Right up every day. For a little nothing.
Paperwork.
That's all they know. They tell you, we are trying to make you stay in prison.
That's what they tell you.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go nowhere. That's sad, man.
That's sad.
People that can go, that's sad, man. When people got family, kids, we just trying to get back home. We trying to make it to where if we are going to be in here, pay us for our wages. I mean, give us wages for our hard work, our labor.
So that we can have something to take care of ourselves and maybe send some home to one of our kids.
We mean it.
Yeah, we mean it.
But we want to be responsible.
Yeah.
We don't want to sit here and just have to work for free, have nothing, still don't have anything. It's kind of a sad situation.
Talk about the food. Y'all tell us about the food for a minute, if y'all would. Somebody just...
We ready to go to one meal.
It's not healthy to eat the food. Where is that? They got a roach running up the wall. That's a spider. That ain't even a roach.
That's a spider.
Let me get up there and get that. I got a spider running up here. There it go right there.
There you go.
There it go.
It's sad, man. See, them the type of spider, you have a whole hole in your body. Let him get it.
Yeah, it's right here on top. I'm standing on his bed to look at it, so it's right on his bed. You see a spider just crawling on the wall as we trying to do an interview. And y'all know that ain't the first time we done had a critter jump up in one of our... Well, it's dead. Where is it? Yeah, he's dead. Okay, getting back to the interview on the food. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about
We just left breakfast.
We got all kind of stuff going on in Florida meat-wise. We still don't know what this mystery meat is. They just call it meat. We don't know if it's ground up, roadkill off the side of the highway. We don't know if it's ground dead deer. They ain't found out what it is. But they come to serve it to us.
What about them eggs? Tell them the breakfast, we eat the same thing every morning.
Yeah, every morning, breakfast, I'm saying like
eggs, grits, and
green,
rocked up biscuits.
Uncooked biscuits. I hate them biscuits. You can't eat them. You can't eat them.
I've been trying to figure something out for a long time. They have those boxes with the meat in there that say not fit for human consumption. I'm trying to figure out why they serve it. It's not fit for human consumption with the labels on it.
Because there's no oversight. The health department don't care. You know what I'm saying? They all know what's going on. There's no way, like we talk about in the book, how when you go to a club or when you go to the gym or something, they say maximum capacity this number.
Right.
All right, the maximum capacity in this prison is probably 600 or some people, but they got 1,300. You know what I'm saying? The fire marshal will be at the club shutting it down. He'll be at the basketball game shutting it down. But why he ain't at the prison shutting it down? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all read those articles out the Montgomery Advertiser I have been passing around?
I checked out a few.
You check them out.
We really threw on the media.
Yeah, I want people to educate themselves about the depth of knowledge that these people have about the system.
Yeah.
They all know what's going on.
Exactly.
The commissioner knows what's going
Everybody
on.
knows.
Senator Cam Ward, Ellen Brooks, former commissioners. These people already know
But
about.
you know it's about money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, they say in the Montgomery Advertiser, the Department of Corrections said they spend $43 a day on each one of them for a total of $15,000 a year. They said that's what they spend on us a year. All right, now we know that the infrastructure for Department of Corrections is 16,000 men, but they got 32,000. So you got 16,000 people over capacity that you paying $15,000 a piece to hold. When we did the math on that, we came up with $251 million, which is about $250 million. So what I'm saying is, that's $250 million that they have at their disposal, but instead of putting it in education for this man, you know what I'm saying, rehabilitation for this man, providing the opportunity for this man to reenter, instead of them funding that, they putting another bed in the cell, and putting another body in. And that $15,000 could be going toward education. Instead, it's like I said, they just accumulating bodies and accumulating the free labor force. The article also said they have over 67,000 people in the street on probation and parole. So you're looking at 100,000 people at their disposal that they can run in the system at any time. And they started talking about building private industries to come in here for people to work. What y'all think about that? You know, they just passed a law saying that now a private industry can come and employ prisoners as long as he builds an enterprise on the state grounds.
Free labor?
No, they said they gonna pay you, but we know what they get.
Right, okay.
What they get? What do they pay the industry worker?
They pay the industry worker 3 cents a day.
3 cents.
You start off with 3 cents. You can move. The most you can make is 25 cents a day. Okay, that's industry worker, and they do compulsory. They do upholstery. They do automatic. They fix on all the cars. They fix on all the
Furniture,
all the
wood.
furniture, all the wood furniture. We're not talking about for the institution now.
This is for free world
We're
people.
talking about for free world people.
Real contract.
Real contracting. They actually contracting out. They do all the chemical work.
Bleach.
We talking about they do all for all over the world. Yes, but they only pay the inmates. You start off with 3 cents. You have to go up and raise.
Work your way
But
up
the
to a
most
quarter.
you can make is a quarter. Now, what kind of slave labor is
That ain't nothing though. Even if you look at the maintenance man that's over the inmates that be working around here, they do all the work.
The inmates do all the work.
They do all the work.
The actual maintenance worker that's been hired here to getting paid, he don't do no work. The inmate do all the labor. The inmate do all the work.
Yeah.
So what they get paid?
Not a
Get
day.
paid. I mean, the inmate ain't getting paid nothing, but the maintenance
They
man.
call me to work now, man.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go and do my slave labor. I don't get a dime. I don't get 1 red cent.
Where you going to work at, Ryan?
Right now I'm going up to a mental health to teach criminal thinking.
Okay.
And it consists of like.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you can't be rehabilitated.
But I can't be rehabilitated.
But you can teach criminal
But I can
thinking.
teach criminal thinking. I can teach it only in an institution. I can teach anger management only in an institution. I can teach reality theory only in an institution.
So you
But I
qualified to teach other people
I'm
to
way,
come to better themselves,
but I can't.
but you can't be better.
They say I can't be done.
Okay.
May
All right.
God have mercy on their souls.
I appreciate you right there. I appreciate you, man. And we'll be catching back up. Well, look, man, I appreciate y'all sharing your time, sharing your stories with us, man, because we got to get the word out to the people so they can understand that we are human beings. We real people, too, you know. We made mistakes, but we can overcome those mistakes. We ain't did nothing that we can't overcome. You know what I'm saying? But the infrastructure ain't here to help us, and they don't really care if we get rehabilitated or not. They don't care. So we're going to continue striving, continue making these, filming these documentaries and getting these stories out, man. Y'all brothers, keep your head up. That was up. All right. Free Alabama, man.
Free Alabama.